So, hello everyone. Thank you for joining us in this interview slash testimony recording. Here I am, Araceli, and I today I welcome Sumi. Hello, Sumi. Nice. Uh,
Hi.
Thank you for joining us. Thank you for accepting to record your testimony, share your experience. From what program are you sharing your testimony?
It's Core.
Core. Nice. So yeah, thank you for joining us. And can you tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're coming from, where what, how old are you? And I don't know, what are you doing right now with your life?
All right. So my name is Sumi. I am Japanese Polish, living in Poland currently. I'm 22, studying and working, but yeah, I thought maybe that's a good time to finally, get real with my blessing preparation. And it's a funny time actually because me getting to know this program was through a friend who is a staff at the High Noon. It was Andy. So it was
Oh,
quite nice because I'm also in matching process right now. And it was
mm,
like a perfect opportunity. So it was like a win-win situation. So yeah,
wow.
that's how I got here.
Wow, that's awesome. Yeah. And before we go into that, just curious, what are you studying?
Oh, wow, thank you.
Mhm.
Did not expect that. I'm studying graphic design and animation.
Oh, wow.
Really, really
Yeah.
love it, and also work the same field, so
Oh,
full win.
nice. Yeah, that's so cool. Thank you. Yeah, so you said that Andy told you about the program and you're also in the matching process at the moment. So, I'm curious how do you feel it was the experience of being in the matching process at the same time that you were going through this program?
Definitely was like a feeling of regret a bit because I was
Mm.
like, I could have done it earlier. This program, I could have done it way before having gone through like my process, and I was
Mm,
like, oh, that would have been so much easier with
mm,
me having like actually time and focus like 2 months to
mm,
actually just focus on myself and like as well. I think it was Benji who said it, like it's way it's easier to find a partner than like, than like scratch that.
mm,
Like it's more, how did he phrase it? That it is the finding partner should be like one of your last steps, and a lot
mm,
of people often stress about this first as most important thing.
mhm,
And yeah, I would love just to spend like this whole time on preparation more because yeah, I think it would
mm.
have saved me some headaches sometimes and just
I see. I
yeah.
see. So you see that um joining the program before would have been easier, right? To focus on both things at the same time, where you're focusing on your personal development, your own individual growth, at the
Mhm.
same time that you're starting to get to know someone and, you know, start preparing those conversations where you would decide whether you want to commit to this person, right? So those two things at the same time is like a lot, right? Yeah.
A bit too much.
A bit. I see. I see. So yeah, so what was the impact of the program in you? Eh,
I think you can really we have to like really first see what kind of mindset I was going in with
Okay.
because I
Yeah.
was yeah, matching preparation program. So my expectations were more, it's gonna be more of like a reminder for me of some things, so purity and stuff. It's topics that are very well present in our
Hmm.
community. So I thought it's gonna be more of a reminder, not more like, oh, it's nice to connect with community and just more feel the atmosphere. And as
Mm,
I am preparing for the Blessing 2025, so I was more like, oh yeah, just emotional connection. But and you can see it even in my notes because I think first 2 weeks you could see like few sentences in my notes. Then
mhm,
it slowly transforms into like pages of notes and just all the golden thoughts and like quotes made by our facilitator or other sisters during our calls. it's all written there, and I'm so happy that I just was like, oh, like every call was like a huge experience because you not only me myself, I had like a opportunity to answer questions that I
Mm,
wasn't aware of that much, like how to phrase it nicely. I wasn't really like I didn't know my stance like from
mm,
to word until I
right.
had an opportunity to talk it over with sister. So
Mm-hmm.
it was a bit surprising to be mind blown so many times on like a
Mm,
topic that you feel like for your whole life basically. So yeah, it it was an impact, quite an
mm.
impact, I have to say. Yeah.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah. So, what was the favorite thing from the program?
Oh gosh, I really love the format
Mm-hmm.
because when I think about all the programs that we have, at least maybe there's there are many more that I am not aware of. So I'm sorry if I'm saying something incorrectly here. But me personally, I haven't met a program that I was focused on discussions that much. I'm
Mm,
much more used to having lectures and maybe having these 5 to 10 minutes of talking to other brothers and sisters about it. So yeah, I would have to say the format was like a star for me in this program.
mm,
I really loved it.
mm. So you said that you started writing down a lot of things from the calls, right? And it wasn't a reminder as you thought it would be, right? So
Mm.
where are those discussions that really, made you see the program differently um and that had that impact, that big impact on you? What were some of those discussions? Because there are a lot of
Mm.
discussions, right? So
There's
what
there were so many
so
discussions.
what was the biggest learning point or main key topics that you take with you from the program?
I think, I hope I'm not bringing the wrong. I think it was talk given by Benji somewhere
Mm-hmm.
in the mid of program. It was about sexual drive, and I
Mm-hmm.
remember also in our group because so far we have like when we were talking, we were on the same page most of the time. So
Mm-hmm.
we weren't really, oh, I don't agree with that, oh, or something like that. Or like there were no really
Debate.
disagreements,
Mm-hmm.
and like, we were all like, "Oh, this is nice. This is nice." More like really polite talk. I
Mm-hmm.
remember that talk was very like mind blowing for everyone. I think in our group chat, and I remember that we talked about like for me if like I expressed my experience about it being like very freeing and natural, and like other sisters were more talking about their concerns, and thanks to that I could really realize how many sisters are struggling with like this concept of sexuality. And I also myself have struggled, and I'm struggling, so it's a constant struggle. But
Mm-hmm.
just to have this opportunity and like this space to talk about it so freely was
Mm-hmm.
it was a huge gift, honestly. And that was one of the things that really changed like a dynamic of the group. And I
Mm-hmm.
think from that point on we were much more open to each other, and much more we were no less afraid to be talking about more like our like a deeper thoughts that not maybe we don't share with everyone that often. And yeah, I think that was the biggest thing for our group.
Wow. Yeah, that's awesome. So, what I'm hearing is that the discussion aspect of the program was really important for for your impact, right? The impact of this program on you and in your personal growth. How do you think that the program helps people in general, but also you in preparing for the blessing and marriage? How was it for you?
This program was really like a way of because we often talk about like things that oh yeah, we're brothers and sisters, and you're not always feeling it,
Mm,
or at least in my community, we have never talked really about the sexuality, or how we feel about this, or our like even building our own sexual vision, and
mhm,
like just how what kind of mindset should you have, and it's usually very much more like it's done on a personal level, and
mm,
having opportunity to talk about it with sisters, and like having this as your foundation for our relationship was something that made me realize that, oh, if I could implement this in my local community, how different would have maybe some of the relationships in our dynamics in our community would have gone maybe a bit differently. How much maybe, I don't know, sisters from my own
mm,
community, and how we like having someone to talk to about these things makes you more like realize that it's actually not so unnatural, it's
mm,
actually not. And just to be able to feel this grace for other
mm,
people, and actually feel like, oh, me sharing this doesn't make it like, oh, I'm a sinner or something like this, which
mm,
is it's just a thought that I often struggle with,
mm,
and this constant, I really feel like I've received so much, and like having this like just grace flowing from all the sisters, and just it was it was something beautiful.
That's so beautiful. Um, so since you're talking about it, how did these discussions and the overall the program change your perspective on the concept of sexuality, sexual integrity, and God's vision for sexuality?
I think one of the things that really impacted me was like, so first of all, it's like what changed for me is that it's something natural, like of course you can say it, but it was like a first time I really felt it, that
Mm.
you're
Yeah.
not ashamed of your own body, like being made in a feminine way, which I
Mm,
think with the modern world like giving us the certain version of sexuality is like, oh, you have to repeat this. This is like, if you do this, it's like it's gonna result in like connection, and just like
mm,
a great relationship or something, like this passionate relationship that like
mm.
Hollywood is like trying
Yeah.
to force upon us. So I think like having like a different version of that is
Mm,
like showing us, actually it's not something that God intended. It's like was like an eye opening for me, because I was
mm,
more like trying to, I was like, I had an opportunity to kind of look away from that image for a second and think about it. How is it in nature, as I
mm,
think Benji also said, and just to be able to appreciate that it's like it's more about like creation, and like as we were intended to be co-creators of this world. It's not that creative to to look at the Hollywood version and like kind of trying to copy it into your own
mm,
relationship,
mhm,
but like you actually trying to sit down with God, and you're like, I want to create like a relationship, like sexuality in relationship based of like God's vision. So it's like you bring your own creativity to the table,
mm,
which I found quite beautiful, and I was like, it was like a very freeing experience for me. And just like, I think generally, just if I heard this message like years ago, having struggled with body dysmorphia, I think it would be one of like key elements to me getting out of that mindset way quicker
mm,
than I did.
mm,
Yeah,
mm.
so I think that it's really truly precious message that we got from you.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah, it's beautiful. I'm glad that you had that experience and that you felt it, right? Because I think a lot of the times we know it intellectually, but we don't feel it. And so, yeah, I'm really glad that you had the experience and the opportunity to feel it through your group, through your discussions. Yeah, thanks for sharing. So how do you think that you implemented everything that you've learned in your own matching process since you had the opportunity to kind of go and do both things at the same time?
First of all, is like what I like coming to this program. I also struggled with like, had this time of like being highly motivated and like having this high inspiration about blessing, being in the right mindset. And I think because we during like it's exactly what Reggie said, like, like I think a year ago when we had opportunity to get blessed, is like he was asking the question like why not get blessed and stuff. So I saw how my practical side was not aligned like with my internal, because my internal was way stronger that time. But then I was like, oh, I don't have time, and I found my butt, and just
Mm,
like because of it I was like, oh yeah, maybe next year, because exams and stuff, it's important. And I could make time, I wasn't willing to. And I
mm,
think having that having that vision, and like being in this mindset constantly and talking about it with sisters actually helped me. I could see my practical side finally following my internal side. Like it was like fishing a bit,
mm,
because
mhm,
when you have oh yeah, I want to throw my fishing rod there, it's much
mm,
more easy to throw it in certain direction when you know where you want to. Just like throwing it around won't help it. Yeah, I don't
yeah,
know if that's a good metaphor, but something like this.
yeah,
And
I understand
yeah,
you.
yeah, thank you. So yeah, I was yeah, so it was more of a like a motivator to help me bring my practical side
Mm,
also. And actually the high noon program ended, I think, on the day where I signed the matching paper, like my
mm.
side of it. So yeah, it was like a whole experience. But yeah, also besides it, the one thing that I really liked was the having the like your own vision for a couple,
Mhm,
for marriage. And like I think one of the things that we decided we want to do would be like actually write that vision ourselves.
mm,
And so far, we decided to just try to internalize it. So yeah, it ended with us making a condition also that we journal together for
mhm,
like 40 minutes, and like trying to first like find that vision, what like be personally with a god, like what I want, and then like try to encourage also my future partner to also, because yeah, it's kind of different when somebody is in the program and the other person is not. So yeah, I also often came to him with like very high spirit energies, like we gotta do this and stuff. And it's really different when you in like in part of like a program and all these emotions circling, and I could feel the crash of it. But yeah, since doing that, I felt like the practical side really
mm,
improved a lot. And yeah, I think one of the things that I like the most, like, is just thinking and like crafting that idea, like
mm,
this vision for the couple. I think it's something that I never thought of that I should do.
mhm,
Yeah, since I got to know that it's something it's something that couples it's something that could give a lot to couples.
mhm.
And now having, thought about it and just like writing things, like ideas for it, like helped me more realize, oh, it's actually something that is could be really helpful for like your future as a couple.
Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome. So you're more intentional and more, I guess, in a way, it helped you with your integrity, where you actually do what you want to do, what you say you want to do, right? So that's part of the high noon virtues. That's part of what we try to focus a lot on. So I'm glad that it had that effect on you and that you really took it. Yeah, thank you so much for sharing. Um, I don't think I have any more questions. I think you answered everything. Is there any message that you want to leave for our audience, for other brothers and sisters that are in your same, situation or that are thinking about preparing for marriage that you would want to share with them?
Wait, let me think. I think if I were in a place that I were a few years ago, which was, having no idea if I like how fast I'm going to find a match and like quite feeling quite hopeless about it. I would like to hear that like it's it's okay if you need the time to focus on yourself, and maybe it's not good to underestimate how much you need other people and how much more you can do and learn when you have that other opinion, that other perspective. So yeah, if anyone is ever like questioning whether they should join, or like, oh, I don't know if it's that if that got it if you will be able to get along with other people in the like in the calls, because it's very discussion focused. I think it would be great if you could just give this like a little bit tiny bit of courage in yourself, because yeah, even if maybe it won't be the same experience for you as it was for me, I'm quite sure that that will be a small message, or a big one, hopefully, from God, if you just step out of your comfort zone a bit. And
Mm.
at first it's gonna be really hard, it's gonna be awkward, because you talk about very sensitive topics with people who you basically don't know. But having people that have very similar direction in life will not disappoint you.
Yeah, thank you so much. I really think that your experience was very inspiring for me even to read beforehand, before contacting you. I was like, oh wow, I'm so glad that you had that experience and that you were willing to share as well. We are really grateful for that. And I do hope that all of you there listening can take what Sumi here share with us, and that if you're in that same boat, if you are preparing for marriage, if you don't even have an idea about, how to prepare for marriage, you, yeah, take this experience with you to heart and, make a decision for yourself, commit to your own growth, and join our program. So this is what this program is for, really, to clear your direction in terms of marriage preparation. And if you already have a clear direction, maybe you start actually taking practical steps towards it. So yeah, we really do hope that you can take that step, as Sumi said, out of your comfort zone, and see the bigger perspective on where you're going. So yeah, thank you so much for sharing. Thank you so much for joining the program, and we hope to see you next time, or see you already in the blessing, and see you in our program for couples. So yeah, thank you so much, Sumi, and thank you all for listening.
Thank
Bye.
you.